Joining me now is UCLA surgeon and professor, Dr. Nina Shapiro. Last time we were here talking about ticks, we talked about all the good stuff. So first of all, why don't you take us to school a little bit? Hepatitis A, what is it?
Hepatitis A is a virus, and it's a very contagious virus. And we see it in these pockets of outbreaks. It is actually preventable, and most children and teenagers have been immunized. They get immunized between ages 1 and 2. So most of the kids are actually safe. And not all adults are protected because we don't usually get immunized for
it's not often that people, but are people now going to be concerned, do I need to get a vaccine?
So that's a good question. I don't want, there is an outbreak, but we have to understand that there is an outbreak of 2 people in Los Angeles County.
Okay.
And that's considered an outbreak. And the good news is that the state will now put in some efforts to help prevent it from spreading further.
And it is essentially right now limited to a very specific population, the population of homeless people, correct? Whether it's in Santa Cruz County, in San Diego County, down south, or here in LA. But the concern is, will it spread?
Right. So this is the homeless population is a very vulnerable population
Absolutely.
when it comes to hepatitis A because it has to do with hygiene, and they don't have access to good hygiene and sanitation, and that's how this virus spreads.
Well, I was just saying, and you heard in the report previous that LA officials are hoping to vaccinate some 40,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. That's a gigantic effort.
It's a huge effort, and it's going to be hard to do. It's easier said than done to just go through this population and offer immunizations. There will be free clinics available, and it is nice, again, that the state will be providing the county with these free vaccinations for this population, but it's easier said than done.
Within the homeless population, there is some transient activity, so is there concern that it will spread out of state or to neighboring cities?
It certainly can spread, and this is, we hear about these hepatitis outbreaks from restaurants, from poor hygiene.
That is not the case
in food preparation. This is not the case here, but this is how this can spread, just from contact to contact. The other concern is that hepatitis virus can live on surfaces, unlike the cold viruses where you have to touch somebody or kiss somebody to connect. This can live on the street.
That's why they are going around and actually essentially bleaching sidewalks and surfaces in some areas to try and rid the area of the disease. So looking forward, do you imagine, does this seem like something they can get their arms around fairly quickly?
Hopefully they can. Again, because the county is kicking in now, these extra efforts, they're going to be providing more hand sanitizer and cleaning options and awareness. And hopefully there will be some awareness in the homeless population that they can get protected from this and should try to access some good hygiene practices. Hopefully they will get this.
And lastly, it does not have to be fatal. In fact, it generally is not fatal. Is it usually in people that have compromised health to begin with?
Right. So the hepatitis A infection can be something as simple as a little bit of a fever or some nausea for a few days. Very rarely it's fatal, and that's usually in people who have other chronic illnesses, especially if they have liver problems.
Okay. Dr. Nina Shapiro, what a delight to see you. Thank you so much. You always are so informative.
Thanks. Great.